Hello, and welcome back to the Wells Family Journey. I'm Damien. So today I'd like to take time out and read a semi-quick chapter in my Edgar Allan Poe Complete Tales and Poems book. Alright, so today we're going to be reading Tamerlane. Stick with me, and I'll be back in a couple seconds. Alright, so welcome back. So we're going to be reading Tamerlane from Edgar Allan Poe. I'm going to try and read this to the best of my ability without mispronouncing any of these words. So this is my first read-through of this particular tale or story that he wrote. And here we go. Tamerlane by Edgar Allan Poe. Tamerlane. Kind solace in a dying hour. Such father is not now my theme. I will not madly deem that power of earth may shrive me of the sin an earthly pride hath revelled in. I have no time to dote or dream. You call it hope, that fire of fire. It is but agony of desire. If I can hope, O God, I can. Its fount is holier, more divine. I would not call thee fool, old man, but such is not a gift of thine. Know thy the secret of a spirit, bowed from its wild pride into shame. O yearning heart, I did inherit thy withering portion with fame, thy searing glory which hath shone amid the jewels of my throne. Amid the halo of hell, and with a pain, not hell shall make me fear again. O craving heart for the lost flowers and sunshine of my summer hours, thy undying voice of that dead time, with his interminable chime, rings in the spirit of a spell upon the emptiness of a knell. I have not always been as now, the fevered diadem on my brow I claimed and won unsurprisingly, hath not the same fierce heirdom given Rome to the Caesar, this to me. The heritage of a kingly mind, and a proud spirit which hath striven triumphantly with a humankind. On mountain soil I first drew life. The mists of the Tagle have shed nightly their dews upon my head, and I believe the winged strife, a tumult of the headlong air, have nestled in my very hair. So late from heaven that dew it fell, mid dreams of an unholy night, upon me with the touch of hell. While the red flashing of the light from clouds that hung like banners o'er appeared to my half-closing eye, the pageantry of monarchy and the deep triumphant thunder's roar came hurriedly upon me, telling of human battle, where my voice, my own voice, silly child, was swelling. Oh, how my spirit would rejoice and leap within me at the cry, the battle cry of victory. The rain came down upon my head, unsheltered, and the heavy wind rendered me mad and deaf and blind. It was but man, I thought, who shed laurels upon me, and the rush, the torrent of the chilly air, gurgled within my ear the crush of empires within the captive's prayer. The human of suitors and the tone of flattery round a sovereign's throne. My passions from that helpless hour usurped a tyranny which men have deemed since I have reached to power. My innate nature, be it so. But Father, there I lived one who, then in my boyhood, when their fire burned with a still intenser glow. For passion must with youth expire, e'en then who knew this iron heart in woman's weakness had a part. I have no words, at last, to tell the loveliness of loving well, nor would I now attempt to trace the more than beauty of a face, whose lineaments upon my mind are shadows on their unstable wind. Thus I remembered having dwelt some page of early lore within loitering eye, till I have felt the letters with their meaning melt to fantasies with none. Oh, she was worthy of all love. Love as an infancy was mine. To such an angel minds above, might envy her young heart the shrine on which my every hope and thought were incense, then a godly gift. For they were childish and upright pure, as her young example taught. Why did I leave it, and adrift, trust to the fire within, for light? We grew in age and love together, roaming the forest and the wild, my breast her shield in wintry weather, and when the friendly sunshine smiled, and she would mark the opening skies, I saw no heaven but in her eyes. Young love's first lesson is the heart. For that mid that sunshine and those smiles, when from our little cares apart, and laughing at her girlish wiles, I throw me on her throbbing breast, and pour my spirit out in tears. There was no need to speak the rest, no need to quiet any fears of hers, who'd asked no reason why, but turned on me her quiet eye. Yet more than worthy of the love my spirit struggled with and strove, when on the mountain peak alone ambition lent it to a new tone. I had no being but in thee, the world and all it did contain, in the earth, the air, the sea, its joys, its little lot of pain. That was new pleasure, the ideal. Dim vanities of dreams by night, and dimmer nothings which were real. Shadows and more shadowy light parted upon their misty wings, and so confusedly became thine image and a name. A name. Two separate yet most intimate things. I was ambitious. Have you known the passion? Father, you have not. A cottager, I marked thee a throne of half the world as all my own, and murmured at such a lowly lot, but just like any other dream. Upon the vapor of the dew, my own had passed, did not the beam of beauty which did while it throw? The minute, the hour, the day oppresses my mind with double loveliness. We walked together on the crown of a high mountain which looked down, afar from its proud natural towers of rock and forest, on the hills, the dwindled hills, begirt with bowers, and shouting with 1,000 rills. I spoke to her of power and pride, but mystically in such guise that she might deem it not beside. The moment's converse in her eyes I read, perhaps, too carelessly. I mingled feeling with my own. The flush of her bright cheek to me seemed to become a queenly throne, too well that I should let it be. Light in the wilderness alone. I wrapped myself in grandeur then and donned a visionary crown. Yet it was not that fantasy had thrown her mantle over me, but that among the rabble, men, lying ambitions enchained down and crouches to a keeper's hand. Not so in deserts where the grand, the wild, the terrible conspire with their own breath to fan his fire. Look round thee now on Sacrament. Is not she queen of earth, her pride above all cities? In her hand their destinies, and all beside of glory which the world hath known, stands she not nobly alone? Falling, her veriest steeping stone shall from the pedestal of a throne, and who her sovereign? Timur, he whom the astonished people saw, striding o'er empires highly, a deemed outlaw. O human love, thy spirit given, on earth of all we hope in heaven, which fallest into the soul like rain upon the Siroc weathered plain, and falling in thy power to bless, but leavest thy heart a wilderness. Ideal, which bindest life around, which music of a strange a sound, and beauty of so wild a birth, farewell, for I have won the earth. When hope, the eagle that towered, could see no cliff beyond him in the sky, his pinions were bent droopingly, and homeward turned his softened eyes. 'Twas sunset when the sun would part. There comes a sullenness of heart to him who still would look upon the glory of the summer sun. That soul will hate thy evening's mist, so often lovely, and will list to the sound of the oncoming darkness, known to those whose spirits hearken, as one who in a dream of night will fly, but cannot from a danger nigh. What thou the moon, the white moon, shed all the splendor of her noon? Her smile is chilly, and her beam, in that time of dreariness, will seem so like you gather in your breath a portrait taken after death. And boyhood is a summer sun whose waning is the darkest one, for all we live to know is known, and all we seek to keep hath flown. Let life then, as the day flower, fall within the noonday beauty, which is all. I reached my home no more, for all have flown who made it so. I passed from out its mossy door, and thou, my thread was soft and low. A voice came from threshold stone of one whom I had earlier known. Oh, defy thee, hell, to show on beds of fire that burn below a humbled heart, a deeper woe. Father, I firmly do believe, I know, for death who comes for me from regions of the blessed afar, where thee is nothing to deceive, have left his iron gate ajar, and rays of truth you cannot see are flashing through eternity. I do believe that Iblis hath a snare in every human path, else how, when the holy grove I wander of the idol love, are you saved? Who daily scents his snowy wings with incense of burnt offerings, for the most upholded things, whose pleasant bowers are yet so riven, and the thrilled rays from heaven no more shun, no tiniest fly, the light thing of his eagle eye. How was it that ambition crept unseen amid the revels there, till growing bold he laughed and leapt in tangles of love's very hair? And that is the end of Tamerlane. Thank you for sticking with me. As always, be kind to each and every one, and if you get a chance, help someone out, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for sitting with me.